resuming on campus just a week after the mass shooting that left 3 students dead and 5 others injured. University police announcing today that one student has been upgraded from stable to fair condition. 2 students are in serious condition but stable, and 2 more students remain in critical condition. As students returned to campus, many took part in 2 different demonstrations at the state capitol demanding changes to gun laws. It all comes as family and friends are saying their final goodbyes to Ariel Anderson. The MSU junior enjoyed basketball, photography, and dreamed of becoming a pediatrician. The visitation is happening now until 8 p.m. at a QA Cantrell Funeral Home in East Point. And 7 Action News reporter Sarah Grimmer is joining us now in the studio. Sarah, you spoke to a trauma counselor about some tools that students and really all of us can use for processing this tragedy. What did they tell you?
Yeah, exactly. So, Brian, typically for a story like this, you, the viewers, would see us live on location. But the reason that we're not doing that this afternoon is because we wanted to give the students space as they walked into this first couple of classes. So we had a crew that was on campus early this morning, but after hearing back from the students that the amount of cameras was causing a lot of additional trauma, we decided to stay away this afternoon. So instead, I spent this afternoon talking to a trauma counselor. Here's some insight on what many students may be experiencing and what they may need.
So about 60% of people who go through a traumatic experience like this experience post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. About 40% go through post-traumatic growth. They are more resilient, they get stronger.
Dr. Ural is a trauma counselor that worked with students after the Oxford High School shooting and experienced a shooting himself when he was in college. He tells me that the trauma of last week's school shooting will be affecting each student differently today.
And levels of trauma for different people are different. So listen and respect each person's level of fear and how they have experienced this trauma. It may be different than yours.
For each level of trauma, Dr. Hill recommends that students talk about their feelings with other students and the counselors that are on campus. He adds that getting back into a routine can be key and that it will help your minds move forward. For those who are experiencing post-traumatic growth, Dr. Hill recommends being socially active.
Do something about it. One of the best ways to grieve is to actively get involved in change. So do something positive to memorialize these students.
There's no cut, copy, paste approach to dealing with a tragedy of this magnitude. Above all, each student will need time, and it's important that we as a community give that to them.
Go pet the dogs that are walking around today, hug a friend, and if you see someone that seems to be out of sorts or you haven't seen them, they're isolated, say, hey, you're on my mind. Call them up and check with them.
Some great advice there. And although we didn't go to campus today, one of the Michigan State University student journalists that I interviewed last week was there and interviewed some of the students on how they're doing and what today is like for them. So Brian, I'm going over these interviews right now, and it's just really impactful to hear from these students on this big day, how they're putting this together and how this for everyone in about an hour.
Okay, I'll see you at 5, and I do want to say thank you for the way that you handled this very heavy, difficult situation, difficult day today. Thank you, Sarah. All right, businesses across the Lansing area continue to show their support for the MSU community. Hundreds of people showed up to Ink Therapy in Lansing over the weekend. Customers were able to get pre-selected MSU